Somebody call a doctor because bad medicine is back. That's the Appleton Oak. This is the answer. I'm Mason Quinn. Guys, tonight we are taking a look at the new Hunger Games trailer. This is the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Gonna be a prequel. I'm super excited.
We get to see where it all began, so I'm definitely ready, willing, and able to see this.
Yeah, I'm pumped for this one. I mean, we got really heavily invested into Hunger Games. So
Yeah,
to
we
get
did.
a backstory on it, I'm excited.
All right, so without further ado, let's go.
That emblem is badass.
I am honored to introduce to you the creator of the Hunger Games themselves, Dean Casca Highbottom.
Oh, yes!
Nice.
Come on!
I have summoned you all here for the 10th annual reaping ceremony.
He's so awesome.
10th.
Choose 2 children from each district to fight to the death in the Hunger Games.
From District 12, Lucy Gray Baird.
There has been a change this year. As a mentor, Mr. Snow, your role is to turn these children into spectacles, not survivors.
What does my mentor do besides bring me roses?
I do my best to take care of you.
You really want to take care of me in that arena? Start by thinking I can actually win.
I'm Lucky Flickerman.
Look at the
First ever
TVs.
host of the Hunger Games.
Hey.
The show.
5, 4,
Enjoy the show.
3.
Oh, this seems all smashed up.
Enjoy the show.
Run.
Enjoy the show.
What?
What happens in there, fueled with the terror of becoming prey. See how quickly we become predator? See how quickly civilization disappears?
The whole place is trashed.
There's a natural goodness built into us all. We can step across that line into evil, or not.
You hear that, boy? It's the sound of snow falling.
How wonderful that we all get to be here for someone's final performance.
Okay, looks like we're seeing the districts.
Everything is about winning.
Snakes?
It's the things we love most that destroy us.
I believe the red and black doesn't have the poison, the venom. Wow.
Let's go back so I can watch it some more. God, the music though too is just so good.
So that must be the capital?
Yeah, it must be.
Of the Hunger Games themselves, Dean Casca Highbottom.
What is he drinking there?
He's no long bottom.
I have
Neville.
summoned you all here for the 10th annual reaping ceremony.
Yeah, so
In which we
10th.
choose 2 children from each district to fight to the death in the Hunger Games.
From District 12, Lucy Gray Baird.
Can we pause it right there once?
Yeah, go back once there.
No, it's interesting because, you know, at that point, she does this bow and has her hands out. That scene right there. And she doesn't look nervous. She doesn't look anxious.
No,
she looks very proud.
Wants to do it.
And I'm
Maybe
wondering,
that was a proud thing.
yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm wondering back then, the 10th annual games, if this was still something where, you know, you weren't seeing as much, you know, hate and anger towards the capital, and there was still some honor in competing in the games. Of course, you know, the ones we watched, you know, some of the districts 1 and 2, it was still a huge thing. They trained for that. But for other districts, it felt like you're, you know, putting lambs out to the slaughter, where she's from District 12.
Yeah, we haven't seen any little kids yet.
Right. So
you know,
she's from
trailer
District
here.
12, and by this, you know, by the body language and the facial expressions, this isn't something she's nervous about, or she could be hiding it. She could be very scared on the inside, but is saying, you know, but I felt like this this just clip right here of her taking that bow and hands out
very different.
with the facial expression felt very different as far as the reaping ceremonies go.
And the thing too is it's only the 10th year. We saw some of the technology. Well, maybe I'll wait till we get to with the TVs and stuff. Pause it there. Let's really get to that. Getting ahead of
There
myself.
has been a change this year. As a mentor, Mr. Snow, your role is to turn these children into spectacles, not survivors.
And what does my mentor do besides bring me roses?
I do my best to take care of you.
You really want to take care of me in that arena?
So
See, there the arena's fine.
Yeah, let's pause here for a second.
They show it again. Oh, well, there's the tack too. So here, that arena type area, it's fine.
It seems more.
Look at that.
It seems more like an arena. Like maybe earlier on in the games, it was more in like a building dome setting, and as they advanced later,
they
the
went
big
out.
outdoor. I mean, because we learned at the end of.
Thinking I can actually
Are you all right there?
I was gonna try and get that one part.
We learned at the end of, obviously at the end of where I forget which one it was, Mockingjay Part 1, or no, it's the Catching Fire, where she shot the arrow.
Yes.
We learned that they were still in a dome, so it felt like they were still in an arena,
Yeah,
but
'cause
the
they could
arena they were
control it.
in was very outdoors. There was animals, there was predators, there was bees, there was don't light a fire, obviously water dangers and things like that. And it would seem, they showed a clip where they're running in tunnels, but it seems as if it's more of a physical arena, almost like an indoor football stadium.
Yeah, kind of
that
has
could
that
be.
vibe. And here we see it, everything's fine. A couple of scenes next, the whole place looks trash. There's a hole in the ceiling and everything, and it just looks destroyed. So I'm wondering what happened there.
I'm lucky.
Okay, so here's our tack. So they have kind of, I almost want to say those almost kind of looked like late 80s, 90s TV cameras. They showed a clip of that. And I think here they're obviously trying to show us that maybe the tech is a little bit limited, where maybe the audience doesn't exactly know everything the competitors are going through. And so maybe that plays into how the competitors feel about what they're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, these TVs and stuff, as far as America, feels kind of very 1950s, 60s to me, the shape of the TV.
Yes.
Things like that. This is what's throwing me off, though.
Our guy here.
That's got to be.
Oh, I don't think that's Stanley Tucci though.
Yeah, no, but it looks very similar. It's almost like maybe for the sake of the games, they try to get people who have very similar features that look.
He plays
exactly
that
the same.
character.
Yeah.
It's got the Bob Barker microphone.
The Hunger Games.
Enjoy the show.
5, 4.
Enjoy the show.
It's all blown out there.
Yeah.
Enjoy the show.
I wonder if a natural disaster
right there.
No, okay, so pause it there once answer. So we heard
you can hit pause on the left-hand side, scrub and pause.
Whatever.
So we heard the bell go off. They were all in their places and they took off running towards that pile of rubble. So there must be something in there. But this looks like the arena that we saw earlier on, just totally destroyed and blown out.
Yeah, it looks exactly like the same arena with the roof blown out, and it's there's debris everywhere off to the right and the left, and debris everywhere.
They're running towards the center. So
so I'm wondering if there wasn't some sort of drop where everybody's running towards the center and trying to get care packages.
Because I'm looking at all the actors here that they have in formation, and nobody looks like they're running away, really.
Yeah, they look like they're running to the middle.
And maybe they were on those red dots. It looks like they were on those red dots and they were running towards the center, like something crashed through the roof for them.
All
that could be
interesting.
Let her rip.
Enjoy the show.
What happens in there?
Okay, so we have like drones, it looked like there.
See how quickly we become predator? See how quickly civilization disappears?
There's a natural goodness built into us all.
Okay, so the military
step
looks
across
a
that
little
line
bit
into
different.
evil.
Look like Slim Shady
Or
there.
not.
Yeah.
You hear that, boy? It's the sound of snow falling.
guessing he's not referring
How
to
wonderful
weather.
that we all get to be here for someone's final performance.
It's not just about winning.
Everything is about winning.
Yeah, what's with all the snakes?
All of you!
So that must be a guy who's
He
in the
must
morning.
get
just,
in. Yeah,
just-
call him out.
It's the things we love most that destroy us.
And that's Sutherland saying that part.
Yeah, yep, that was a good call there.
So I wonder if it's like, because they don't show anything quick at the end, do they?
There's the
no.
The no.
And like, yeah, so I'm wondering if it's almost him reflecting back on everything.
Yeah.
So
if he's going to do some narration.
I didn't even think about that. I wonder if that's a really good point because we hear his voice talking.
Right there.
I wonder if that's just one thing that they put in, but that would be a really interesting twist if it's him narrating what had happened in the past.
Yeah.
Story. Oh, that would be cool.
And it was interesting because they showed from what it looks like all the competitors hanging out at that cabin or by that lake or whatever. So I don't know if they escaped or if that's beforehand, but then they wouldn't all be in the same district. So that really doesn't work. They wouldn't be hanging together.
No.
So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
You know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering if in the early games, so we saw, we saw obviously in the movies that they get everybody together, they have these ceremonies, they do all that stuff. I'm wondering if in the earlier games they picked everybody, maybe let them hang out for a week. So they got to be friends and build relationships. Hey, you guys can go hang out, play music.
By the way,
hang out in the cabin.
now you have to go at each other.
And after the week, it's done. They talk about how quick, predators or rather prey turn into predators. So this feels really, really interesting. Of course, they show a young Snow. He seems like he's trying to help the tribute survive. Obviously, we know what he turns into.
Yep.
It was interesting the pulling down of the flag off the wall and running with that. Gave me kind of that vibe, like even earlier on, the people were revolting a little bit, like, hey,
yeah, they had their doubts, for sure.
Yeah, so it only took 65 years.
65, It takes 65 more.
But they have like that whole, for lack of a better term, I'll call them a NATO force because they were all in blue helmets and gear. So I wonder, how that plays out because that's a very different looking military presence than what we had before. So it'll be, did that come from within country? Is it a worldwide thing? That'll be interesting to see.
From what I gather in the stuff that we watched afterwards, it was supposed to be the United States. People made maps.
Yep, they showed the regions.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was the U.S. I'm guessing that was the early form of the national government and their your MPs for military police or your military. Obviously earlier we saw in the later movies they had the helicopters and the ships and all the tech and stuff.
Better tech.
But they really didn't give us. It's interesting in the movies they really didn't let us know what year it was. I don't recall. It felt like it was 200 years in the future with the technology we saw in the Capitol. But the districts, some of the districts felt like they were stuck in the 1800s.
Early 1900s. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. But I think this looks really good. Obviously sometimes with trailers they give you the best parts and you go in and you're like, we got the best in the trailer, but this seems like it's going to be a really good story.
Yeah, I think here they give you just enough to really whet your interest for it and get you excited. So kudos to whoever put together the trailer. I'm really excited for this one, and man, this looks like one that'd be a lot of fun to see in the theater with the surround sound and everything, but we're gonna wait. We're going to do
always got to wait for you guys.
You know what I'm excited about is that we have a lot of new faces here. I really, the actress who in the beginning,
Viola Davis.
Yeah, so I
and
recognize
Dinklage,
her. Obviously, Peter Dinklage. Obviously, we recognize Sutherland's voice. I don't recognize any of these other actors. I'm wondering if there's not, if a second or a third trailer comes out, if they're not going to tease us with a few more big names. But I like the way that with the younger actors, they've gone with people who aren't really that well known. One, it feels like it creates a new story, but it also, presents opportunities for these younger actors to really, lay out a foundation for their career moving forward.
I didn't stop at here. You can kind of see the cars.
Yep, very 1950s looking cars, They actually kind of look like those old Russian Cortinas that they used to make. You used to always make fun of.
It does feel like, if you look at the buildings and stuff, it does feel like 40s and 50s. And so if we, because the Hunger Games came out in like 2012 or so,
somewhere around there.
And if that was supposed to be, 75 years later, so we go back, 60 years, that would be right around this time frame. So I think it's fair to say that this is supposed to be 1950s-ish.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say.
God, this can't wait. Oh, can't wait till Thanksgiving. So for Appleton Oak, that's Mason Quinn. I am, of course, the Answer. Good night, pals.